this is Miss Brianne, and welcome back to our Let's Get Ready program. And this is the series that's designed for children in grades preschool all the way to 3rd grade. And it's a program that will help children with the skills they need in order to succeed in their early elementary school careers. We'll be reviewing a lot of skills such as print recognition, letter sounds, phonics and phonemic awareness, spelling and vocabulary, handwriting, scissoring skills, and all that fun stuff. Now, this series is geared towards children in 2nd grade who are looking to prepare and develop the skills they need in order to be successful in the 3rd grade, as well as for 3rd grade students who want to review what they've already learned previously. So, this series we're going to be practicing a little bit more of our handwriting, but we're going to do a fun little activity. I mean, it will still be pencil and paper, but we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. So I will be reviewing that later, but before we do that, I am going to be reading a book to you. And if you're familiar with many of the words, you can also follow along with me. Now, because you are in 2nd grade, boys and girls, the books that you will be reading are getting a little bit more difficult and a little bit longer and has more sentences per page. So because of that, I usually only read one book throughout the duration of this program because reading 2 books will take too long. But eventually, as we move on to harder and harder books, eventually I may not even be able to read the whole book to you. We'll probably gradually go up to down to one chapter at a time. But as of right now, because the books are still a bit short, even though they're a little bit more complex with longer sentences, we're going to read one book today. And I found this very interesting book that I have a feeling that all you boys and girls will enjoy. And it is part of a Ready to Read series, which is a trademark of Simon Schuster, Inc. And this book in the Ready to Read series is called The Missing Cupcake Mystery. Ooh, cupcakes are missing. Will they ever find the cupcake? What will they do to find the person who took it? But anyway, if you want to find out, read along with me. So, here we go. Oops. The Missing Cupcake Mystery. The authors are Tony and Lauren Dungy with Nathan Whitaker. So the author is the person who writes the words to the story. And we have 3 people here are the authors of the story. All 3 of them wrote the words. The illustrator is Vanessa Brantley Newton. And the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. And then we have the publisher, which is that company that puts the book all together and sends it to the bookstores to sell. So the publisher here is Simon Spotlight, which is an imprint of the Simon Schuster Children's Publishing Division. Which is part of Simon & Schuster, Inc. Alright, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. So I'm not going to be pointing to the words to the story as you read, but follow along with me, boys and girls. The grocery store. It was grocery day. Mom and the kids were at the store filling their cart with lots of yummy food. Who's ever gone food shopping with their mom or their dad? Isn't it fun to see all that food in the shopping cart and knowing that you'll take all that home when you pay for it? Sounds like fun, huh? Well, let's see what happens. Justin spotted boxes of cupcakes with rainbow sprinkles. Mmm. Jordan and Jade saw them too. Mom, can we get cupcakes? Asked Jordan. Please, Mom, asked Jade. Justin said, We've got lots of fruit, but cupcakes would be good too. So, have you ever seen like yummy treats and you've asked your mom or dad for one to buy it? It happens sometimes, and it looks like Jordan, Jade, and Justin are hoping their parents would get them cupcakes too. They do look yummy. Mom looked at the 3 smiling faces. Okay, but we all have to agree to save them until after dinner. Everyone agreed. They would have the cupcakes for dessert that evening. And your parents have probably said that. Like, they'll agree to buy the treats, but you have to wait till after dinner to eat them. Or another type of condition, which is fine. All right, the next chapter. Home in the kitchen. The kids helped Mom put away the groceries. Do you help, boys and girls, do you help your mom or dad put away groceries when they're done shopping? It's a great chore to pitch in and help with, right? Jordan unpacked the cupcakes. Can we have one now? He asked. Yes, Mom, please, asked Jade. Just one, asked Justin. Please, 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 they all chanted. So it looks like they agreed to wait till after dinner to eat them, but now they want one now. What do you think the mom is going to say? Well, why don't we find out? Mom reminded them that the cupcakes were for dessert. Everyone nodded. So the mom said no, and that they promised they'd wait till after dinner, which is fine. The kids did make a promise to wait until after dinner. And if you make a promise, you always have to keep it, right, boys and girls? Well, let's continue on. Mom put the box of cupcakes in the refrigerator. Then she said, now go wash your hands. It's almost time for dinner. Here we go. At the dinner table. What would you like on your hamburgers? Asked Dad. Jordan wanted cheese. Jade wanted ketchup. Justin just wanted a plain hamburger and some corn on the cob, potato salad, and baked beans too. That is the beauty of hamburgers, boys and girls. You can put whatever toppings you want on them and it still tastes very good. Will the kids get their cupcakes? Well, let's find out. The whole family was enjoying Dad's hamburgers, even Ruby. Ruby, guess who Ruby is, boys and girls? Ruby is the dog, and she's eating pieces of hamburger. They were delicious. How was everyone's day at school? Asked Dad. We played football, said Justin. We played volleyball, said Jade. Sounds like a great day at school, huh? We had a math test, said Jordan, and it was really hard. But I did great. I'm glad everyone had a good day, said Dad. Me too, said Mom. Is everybody finished eating? Everyone said yes, and then helped Mom and Dad clear the table. And that's another great chore to pitch in with, boys and girls, helping to clean all the dishes from the table when you're finished dinner. That's another great way to pitch in and help, right, boys and girls? So do you think they're going to eat their cupcakes now? What do you think, boys and girls? Well, let's see what happens. Time for cupcakes, said Jordan. Yay, said Justin. Finally, shouted Jade. Mom went to the refrigerator to get the cupcakes. She came back with a puzzled look. What does it mean when somebody has a puzzled look, boys and girls? I'll give you a minute to think about it. Well, basically a puzzled look is you look confused, like something happened but you don't know how it happened. So it looks like Mom is a little confused right now. Let's find out why. One of the cupcakes is missing, she said. Did someone eat one? Asked Dad. So the mom's a little confused because even though she had all the cupcakes when she put them in the refrigerator, when she took them out for dessert, one of them is missing. What do you think happened to it? Well, let's see. It wasn't me, said Jordan. Or me, said Justin. It sure wasn't me, said Jade. Then where did it go? Asked Justin. The kids all looked at each other. Well, said Mom, it looks like we have quite a mystery on our hands. So what do you think, boys and girls? Who do you think took the cupcake? Could one of the kids be lying? Or do you think Mom or Dad may have eaten one of the cupcakes? What do you think? Do you want to see how the mystery gets solved? Well, let's find out what happens. Yes, we do have a mystery on our hands, said Dad. And we need to figure it out. No dessert until we solve the mystery of the missing cupcake. Justin, Jordan, and Jade quickly started searching the house for clues. Justin and Jordan looked everywhere. Jade headed down the hall to her room and Ruby followed. What do you think's happening, boys and girls? Why do you think Jade went to her room? Why isn't she helping the boys look for the cupcake? What do you think? Well, let's see. Jade sat on her bed feeling very sad. Uh-oh. Ruby sat down beside Jade's bed and then started sniffing all around. Ruby scratched the rug with her paw. There, she found cupcake crumbs and started nibbling each little one. So, it looks like Jade is very sad. And not only that, there was cupcake crumbs in her room. What do you think happened to the missing cupcake, boys and girls? Do you think Jade ate one? Should we read on to find out? Jade looked at Ruby. Ruby looked at Jade. It was just a tiny little fib, Jade whispered to Ruby. But a fib is the same word as a lie. The cupcakes look so delicious. I didn't want to make Mom and Dad mad at me, said Jade. Ruby looked up at Jade. What do you think I should do? Jade asked Ruby. So it looks like Jade did eat the one cupcake. Sounds like she couldn't help herself, and then told her mom and dad it wasn't her when asked. What do you think Ruby should do, boys and girls? Jade. What do you think Jade should do, boys and girls? Do you think she should tell her parents? Well, let's see. Ruby walked to the door and looked back at Jade. Ruby, you are right, said Jade. I should tell them the truth. Alright, so now she's going to tell her parents the truth. Let's see what happens. The true story. Jade walked back to the kitchen. I need to tell you something, Jade said softly. I ate the cupcake. Alright, let's see what happens. We are sad and we are happy, replied Mom. We are sad that you disobeyed, but happy that you told us the truth. You must always tell the truth, said Dad. All the time, said Mom. I will, Jade promised. What do you think is going to happen now? Will the kids finally get their cupcakes for dessert? All right, let's find out. Okay, the mystery is solved, said Dad. We can have dessert now, but Jade, you already had your cupcake. Okay, Jade agreed. That's fair. Mom and Dad hugged her. We are proud of you. And Ruby was proud of Jade too. So it sounded like it was a fair consequence or punishment for Jade. Everybody got to have dessert, but she couldn't have a cupcake because she already ate hers. What do you think? Is that a fair punishment, boys and girls? Well, I personally feel it's a fair punishment. That way everybody else gets their cupcake. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. But what do you say? Should we move on to our activity now? Alright, give me a minute. I'm going to zoom into my workstation. Sorry, just bear with me for 1 second, boys and girls. There we go. Oh, hold on. Oops. There we go. Alright, so, as I mentioned, oh, hold on a minute. Just gotta do something really quick. There we go. As I mentioned before, I have a fun little handwriting activity. But it's not your ordinary handwriting practice. We are going to practice our handwriting by copying quotes from our favorite stories and maybe drawing a little picture based on that quote. How does that sound, boys and girls? Does that sound like fun? That's another cool way to practice your handwriting, right? Instead of just having to write the letters over and over and over again, you can actually copy your favorite story quotes and highlight them. So, before I begin, I just want to let you know that the activity was from the website ABC's Illiteracy. So if you're interested in this activity as well as other similar activities, please click on the web link in the video description. Now, before I go on, I just want to let you know that when you register for this program, you received a craft kit that contained a couple of handwriting worksheets with a box to do artwork in. Now these handwriting sheets are from the website dadsworksheets.com. So if you're interested in this worksheet as well as other similar worksheets, please click on the web link in the video description. So, before I begin, what I'm going to do is I'll go over step by step on how to complete this activity. And when you're done, you'll probably have something like this. How cool is that? And this is something you can hang up on the refrigerator or in your room and decorate. Isn't that cool? Now before I go on, I just want to tell you the quote, and you can see it written on the worksheet. The quote I copied down is from the book, it's called Great Day for Up. Now, the author is Dr. Seuss, the illustrator is Quentin Blake, and it is a bright and early book from Beginner Books, which is a division of Random House Inc. So that's where I got this quote from. The quote I'm going to get to demonstrate this project with you today is going to be from another Dr. Seuss book called Green Eggs and Ham. And this book, the author and illustrator, is Dr. Seuss, and it is published by Beginner Books, which is a division of Random House Inc. Alright, so with that being said, are we ready to begin? So, you're going to have your handwriting worksheet from your kit. In addition, I strongly recommend you have a pencil. Thin-tipped markers, I want you to have a pencil. Thin-tipped markers in any color. And drawing instruments of your choice, such as crayons, thicker tip markers, or colored pencils. So, are we ready to begin? Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is look through, I also have a book of your choice with your favorite quote. So I'm going to find my favorite quote. So I have my favorite quote. So once you find your favorite quote, and I'm going to copy most of this quote right over here, except for the last line. So, what you do, and I recommend you do this very lightly in pencil, so in case you make a mistake, you can erase it. And I'm going to be doing this from a weird angle, so it may look a little sloppy, and I apologize for that. But do this as neatly as you can. We're going to make lines like this for quotation marks. And then we're going to copy the quote. So also make sure your quote doesn't, make sure you have enough room on your handwriting paper to copy the quote. And like I said, I apologize if my handwriting's a little sloppy. I'm writing this from a different angle so I can show you how this is done. And you're doing a good job, boys and girls. Just take your time and copy the quote. And if you need more time, you can always pause this video in between steps in order to allow yourself the time to copy it all down. I'm messing up the E's. I apologize, boys and girls. And this is why I always recommend you do this in pencil first, in case you do make a mistake. And take it very slow, boys and girls. Almost done. And then once you're done copying the whole quote, you're going to draw 2 lines like this. So I just copied the whole quote. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you want, if you have enough room to do so, what I like to do is put a little line here, then write the title of the book, I'm hoping I left myself enough room to write this. Yes, I did. So I wrote the title of the book here. Then a little bit underneath, I'm going to write the author. And like I said, I apologize if this is a little weird. I'm just writing this at a different angle. Alright, so that's the quote. And once you're done copying the quote and there's no other issues, what you can do now is take your thin tip markers and go over your pencil lines. Like this. And like I said, you feel free to pause in between videos in order to catch up. That's the beauty of having a pre-recorded video. And you can use one color to copy the whole quote, or you can alternate colors. Or you can write one sentence in one color and another sentence in another color. This is your project, so use your imagination. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this whole quote in purple. that's popping, boys and girls? So I'm writing the whole story quote in purple marker. So I just wrote the whole story quote in purple marker, and now I'm going to use green marker to go over the title and the author, just to make it pop a little bit. Alright, so I just copied the whole story quote in marker. So last but not least is to make a drawing of your favorite story quote. Now I know this quote is about green eggs and ham, and maybe you can imitate the art, but I strongly recommend, boys and girls, you don't, and you create your own version of what you want this quote to be. So, now I'm just going to draw a simple picture, but you can make it as detailed as you want. I'm going to draw a simple picture of just draw a simple picture of me. And someone else. Holding a dish of something. Then, just going to color it in. It's just a very simple drawing, but like I said, this is your project, your artwork. You can make it as detailed as you like. And let's make that plate of food orange. And like I said, I'm just doing a very simple, quick drawing. Usually I do this is just for demonstration purposes. Usually I do this a little bit slower and I use different types of materials. So we're just going to do a quick doodle. And there you go. That's how you practice your handwriting, by doing story quote art and by copying a story time quote and doing some artwork for your story quote. So, and I certainly hope you enjoyed this activity. I certainly enjoyed doing it with you, and you can repeat this as many times as you want. Like I said, I mentioned the website earlier. You can grab a copy of the worksheet that way. And I gave you 2 of these worksheets if you wanted to do more than one story quote. But just to let you know, in your kits, you also have some handwriting practice worksheets that you can complete at your own convenience. But anyway, this was a great program today. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next program, but please check out all the rest of the summer programs that myself and the other children's librarians here have to offer at the West Hampton Free Library. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next program, but until then, this is Miss Brianne saying take good care of yourselves, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next program.